Welcome to my presentation, Simple Sales Funnels for Service Businesses. Okay, if you love your work, running a service-based business can be amazing. Personally, I couldn't imagine doing anything else. As a marketing consultant, I get to choose who my clients are and only work on projects that I enjoy doing, that excite me. But there are definitely challenges along the way for service businesses. And one of the biggest challenges that we face is lead flow. How do you avoid the feast or famine cycle? How do you keep a steady stream of clients coming to you so you're not scrambling? There's a few different pieces of the puzzle, including things like content marketing, networking, and cold outreach, if you're into that kind of thing. And all of those play a role, but if you want to take the next step and make your lead gen automated and more scalable, you're going to need an email-based sales funnel. Email marketing is very, very powerful. Do it right and you can create a real intimate connection with your audience that's going to be valuable for them and profitable for you as well. And no, email marketing isn't dead, it's not outdated, and it's definitely not going anywhere. It's here to stay. Today I'm going to share a simple funnel that will help you stay top of mind with your audience. So when they're in need and looking for help, looking for somebody like you, you're going to be the logical choice. The framework I'm going to share has 3 parts, and they are the lead magnet, the opt-in form, and the autoresponder sequence. I call it the minimum viable sales funnel, and I'm going to show you how to create it step by step and implement it in your own business. And if you don't have a service business, everything I talk about can still be applied. So who am I? My name is Brad Wages. I'm a sales copywriter and marketing consultant. I use the power of the written word to help my clients sell more of their products and services without sounding like a desperate car salesman at the end of a slow month. Creating email funnels is always exciting to me because they're so effective when used the right way. So let's dive in. The first piece of your minimum viable funnel is going to be the lead magnet. And a lead magnet is simply a piece of content that you're going to give away in exchange for somebody's email address. So question for you guys, how many people here have ever traded your email address for a piece of free content online? Okay. Trick question. It wasn't free. You gave away your email address and you gave away your attention, which is a limited resource these days. All that is to say, your lead magnet is going to be really important. It's the first transaction people in your funnel are going to have with you, and you want to make a good first impression. So if you're just starting out, the type of lead magnet I recommend for you to create is a checklist, list or checklist. Ask, what's something your ideal prospect wants to accomplish but doesn't have the knowledge or experience to take action on at this point? Then you create a list of the specific steps that they would need to take. For example, that could be steps to set up a WordPress website, a list of materials for a do-it-yourself project, steps to create a podcast, or the best books on XYZ topic. Possibilities are really endless, and your lead magnet does not have to be fancy. It just needs to be useful. You can make a black and white PDF using Google Docs, or if you want to get a little bit fancy, you can use a program like Canva and go for a more customized look. All right, now you've got your lead magnet. The next step is setting up your email opt-in for your visitors. An email opt-in is simply a pop-up form or a form on your website where you advertise your lead magnet. You've all seen these 1,000 times, and they usually look something kind of like that. Now at this point, I'm presupposing you have an email service provider. You are going to need one of those to build an email list. And if you don't have an ESP, I recommend you go with MailChimp. It's free, it's simple, and it just works right out of the box. MailChimp and most of the bigger platforms are going to have form builders natively in the app that make it super easy to create your opt-in. And there's tons of tutorials and YouTube videos and blog posts out there on how to use those tools effectively. All right, so as far as the copy, which is the writings, the words on your opt-in form, here's an easy formula for what to do. So you're gonna have a headline, subheadline, and 3 benefits of the lead magnet in bullet form, okay? So for the headline, an example would be the X steps to Y, the 10 steps to starting your first podcast. Subheadline, enter your email for a free guide and learn how to, benefit 1, benefit 2, benefit 3. Simple enough? All right. Piece number 3, the emails. Let's talk about autoresponders, which are also known as drip campaigns. This is really the heart of your sales funnel. Let's say you've got your first subscriber. They came to your site, they saw your lead magnet, and they signed up for your list. Now the relationship really starts. And to help things get started on the right foot, the minimum viable funnel uses 3 specific emails that are proven to connect with your audience no matter what market you're in. Your first email is going to be really simple. It's going to be a combination of a welcome message plus the lead magnet delivery. You can give it a headline like, here's your XYZ checklist. Very simple. Then in the body copy, you want to thank them for signing up, let them know it was a good decision, and then describe how the lead magnet is going to help them. You can do that by listing off a few benefits, again in bullet form, and then at the end you simply want to link to the document so they can download it. And also remember to sound like a real person. You know, you want to be fun, you want to be personable, and avoid corporate speak. You want to make it feel like a real one-to-one conversation. Then email number 2. It's time to resell your subscriber on the lead magnet. The reality is some people are going to join your list and never actually consume that piece of content. You know, they get excited in the moment and think, oh, cool, and then they add it to a list of 50 other lead magnets, free content that they downloaded. So to minimize that, what you want to do is you want to remind your subscribers about the lead magnet and also emphasize the value in a new way. And the best way to increase the perceived value is to tell a story. Tell a story about what's possible when they use that information to take action. About how when they create that podcast or make that career change or take up that new hobby, their life is going to improve in amazing ways. We call this painting the dream, and what's really effective here is telling your own story. So when you decided to take action, how did your life change for the better? Give one good detailed example. No need to write a novel here. Be honest, be real, and don't be afraid to be a little bit vulnerable. That's the stuff that people really resonate with. Okay, email number 3, your origin story. You delivered the lead magnet, sold them on its value, and now you want to share even more about who you are. And a great way to convey this is by telling your origin story. How did you get started? What motivated you to create something new? How are you different from what came before? What's your why? Within your origin story, focus on sharing your core values and beliefs. And the more specific you are, the more people are going to resonate with your message, particularly the people who see the world in the same way. You're going to seem like a kindred spirit to them, a real, live, flesh and blood person that they can believe in, not just a nameless, faceless business. Okay, the second job of email number 3 is to get people to reply. And we do this for a couple of reasons. When people write you back, you're going to learn about your audience. You're getting insights about who they are and what kinds of problems they're facing. And as a service business, that's exactly the kind of information, the details that you want to know about, because the problems that your audience has, that's what you're going to be solving for them. Also, when people reply, it's going to boost your sender reputation with the different ISPs. The ISPs can see that people are replying to your emails and factors that into their algorithms. So future emails that you send out to the rest of the people in your audience are more likely to go to the inbox and stay out of the junk folder. How do you get people to reply? You do it by asking a question at the end of your email. You can say, that's a little bit about me. Now I'd love to hear from you. What's your story? What do you believe in when it comes to XYZ topic? Usually only a small percentage of your readers are going to write back, and that's perfectly fine. It's just the nature of the medium. And if your list is small, I highly recommend that you reply to everybody individually. They're going to be really impressed, and you're going to build up a lot of trust and goodwill with the folks that you do reply to. So there are the three pieces of your autoresponder. Now the next step is to keep continuing to show up in your subscribers' inbox, preferably at least once a week. So now the question becomes, what do you send them? If you're sending new content every week, what do you send them? You're busy, you've got your client work, you've got your day-to-day, business stuff that you're dealing with. Where do you find the time? Listen, I get it. Everybody's super busy these days, but emailing your list consistently is going to pay big dividends over time. So making the commitment and finding the time to do it is really worth it. So here's a bonus for you. A super simple way to create content to send your list every week. Once a week, write an email with links to 3 to 4 articles around your area of expertise. You don't need to write the articles yourself. You just link to them. And before the link, add a line or two about why you thought the article was valuable. So there you have it, the minimum viable funnel for service-based businesses. To recap, what you're going to need is a checklist lead magnet, an opt-in form, 3 email autoresponder sequence, and ongoing content to send your subscribers. Use this framework and you will be setting your business up for long-term success. And as you gain experience with email marketing, you can start doing cool things like sales, product launches, and even affiliate promotions. Now go out there, use what you learned, and build your sales funnel. Like Joe said, you don't have to be good to start, you just have to start to be good. Thank you. Questions?
Yeah, I had a question on the frequency thing. Yeah, I mean, I was talking to someone else about what the bet, how frequently is a good amount, and what's too much, and what's not enough, and yeah, so I thought it was interesting, the 1 a week thing. I mean, what do you think is the reason behind the 1 a week thing? Just that
it's just the fact that you're consistently showing up, and so if the content's good, if it's valuable, people are going to consume, that content and that information. They find it valuable. So never feel like, oh, it's too much. People are being overwhelmed by the amount of emails. People want to get good information, and yeah, that once a week you're staying top of mind. If you email infrequently, once a month, every 3 weeks, then it's like there's more of sort of a gap between when they think, oh yeah, I remember them and what they do. So they have to kind of think back. But if you're doing that once a week, then it's going to be more, they're going to be more familiar with who you are and what your message is. And the reality is, if you're subscriber to somebody's email list, you're probably not going to read all their emails anyway. But just the fact that you see that they send an email, it's just like a small reminder, oh yeah. So when the time comes, even if it's a month, 2 months down the line, that they have an issue they need to be solved, they're going to think of the person who's been reaching out consistently.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
We use Milton, and our newsletter, we send it out bi-weekly, and it's super packed with photos and colors, but I recently heard
You know, I'm not sure how like the algorithm would see like pictures and stuff, but I know my background is direct response copywriting, and everything we do is we try to make it all our copy and the messaging that we send out, every email, we want to make it look like one person wrote it to the reader. So we try to make it as personal as possible. So yeah, if you have a lot of different pictures and like kind of complex formatting and a lot of in-depth design, people see it and they think, oh, that comes from a business. And it's almost always more effective for the reaction to be like, oh yeah, like, and what's your name? Gracia. It's like, oh, Gracia sent me another email, versus, oh, the company, it's another email from the company, you know? You want that one-to-one kind of human connection. In the emails that I send, I almost never put any pictures in there. It's very plain. I do use HTML, but it looks just like a text email, so it's just text. Sometimes put a picture in there. But for the most part, it's very simple, and it just looks like somebody wrote a Gmail email to their friend and sent it to them.
I mean, honestly, those are the ones that I am most likely to open because the other ones just seem too overwhelming. So.
Yeah, and you think, oh, it's another one of those. I read it last time. I know what it's going to be. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.